Hey guys, I want to make a series of videos dealing with the subject, why I am King James Bible only and why you should be too. Now, in each video I want to present just one argument or one point on why you should be King James Bible only. But before I get into all of those reasons, I just want to present the argument in this video why you should only use one version of the Bible, period, and why a local church should only use the same version of the Bible. In Philippians 3, Paul told us, let us walk by the same rule, let us mind the same thing. So we're encouraged to be on the same sheet of music and everybody's together in unity walking by the same rule. You know, in the Bible, if you're a Christian, especially if you're a Baptist, the Bible is the boss. The Bible is our final authority for all matters of faith, what we believe, and practice, what we do, right? So it's our instructions on what to think and what to do, okay? Well, the only way we're going to have unity is if everybody has the same rule book, all right? So let me give you a couple illustrations for this, and I'll actually even give you a life experience when this kind of first became an issue for me. I used to go to a liberal church in Greenville. Now, I'll never say the name of it, but it rhymes with reimage. And on Wednesday nights, we would all be sitting in a circle, and everybody would be reading from the same passage of Scripture, and we'd take turns reading verses, and everybody had a different version of the Bible. And this is before I really even found out about this issue or whatever. But I remember just having the thought of why don't we all just read from the same version? Because this sounds horrible. It doesn't even sound like we're reading from the same story. It's just all so different. But that's when I first really started seeing how big of a deal it was to have just different versions in the same church. Now, let me give you another illustration, right? Let's take the NFL, because football season is coming up. Let's say every referee had a different version of the rule book, okay? So let's say they all show up on game day. One has the most up-to-date version of the rule book. One has, the NCAA, rule book. One has a rule book from a few years ago. We just let every referee bring whichever version of the rule book they like best. How well do you think that game's going to be officiated? How confused are the coaches going to be, the players, the audience at home, even the referees calling the games are going to be confused with each other because everybody has a different rule book, right? Well, in the same way, in a local church, if we all don't have the same rule book, then you're going to have a broad spectrum of beliefs of what's right and wrong. And if you actually go to these liberal churches, especially where it's encouraged to just be the Bible of the Month Club and just use whichever version you want, you could talk to 5 different people about salvation and get 5 different answers. You could talk to people about issues on the Trinity, and some people believe, there's actually 3 persons, one God. Some people believe, he's just one God manifest in these 3 different ways, or, whatever. They all have a broad range of doctrine. Why? Because people have a different rule book. They have a different source document they're getting their information from. And that's not the way to have unity. The only way to have unity, or at least the starting point, is for everybody to be using the same source document, the same version of the Bible. There's no other area in life where we would condone people to have a different rule book. We would not want our senators to everybody just have your own version of the Constitution. Even just with building houses, there's different codes and stuff like that. We want every builder needs to have the same codes when they build a house. You can't just make up whichever ones you want. There's no area of life where we would condone having a multiple version of sources for a final authority. But it's crazy how in most churches today that they just encourage you, just bring whichever version of the Bible you want. And that's a dangerous thing because it makes the person the final authority instead of the Bible. I just choose whichever one I like. That makes them the final authority. But anyways, I hope this is a challenge to you, and at least you're kind of persuaded on that issue that, hey, we should only have one version in the church for everybody to be united around and gathered around and walking according to that same rule. But I hope you'll stick with the videos, especially if you're not King James only or if you don't really know anything about the issue. that you'll kind of hear these arguments and you'll be persuaded to that position. If you're watching this today and you're not 100% sure that if you die today you go to heaven, I encourage you to click on the link in the comments or in the description of this video. And it's about 10-15 minutes, and you can watch it and know for sure you're on your way to heaven. God bless. Have a great day.